Welcome back. We're so excited that you're here today. I have a very special guest, my very own executive assistant. I'm not sure if I should be excited or a little scared, but Dea Bates is here with me today. No relationship to my husband, Justin Bates, but the same last name. And Dea is an executive assistant for Empire Kids, Connect Academy for Children, The Space. She is on volunteer staff at the Impact One Foundation, and is a mother to Xander Lee.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So glad. Dea is usually on the back side of the camera and not on this side of the camera. So it's so exciting to have her here. And I'm a little nervous. So she's no telling what she's going to say about working with me. So yeah, you never know, right?
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about you. So we know who you work for. You work with me every day. But tell us a little bit about your story about before we met, because we didn't know each other whenever I interviewed you the first time.
Right. So I used to work for a company that is based out of Mableville. And shortly after starting there, like a year in, they saw my skill level, my potential, and they were a growing company. And they were like, hey, we're going to be opening up a location in Fort Worth, and we need somebody to go out there and run the office for us.
So from Arkansas to Texas.
Right.
Yeah.
So in February of 2016, I accepted the position and moved out there on my own. I was 26. So, I mean, it was still like, it was time to go, but still, different because I'd never been on my own, legit away from family. So I move out there and start doing the thing and start learning about the industry that we were in, and met my son's father, Brandon.
Did you meet him while you were in Texas?
No. So we have mutual friends.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
From back home. He was from Malvern. And we had kind of been in the same circle for a while, but never really,
connected.
Right.
Until you did.
If he were here to tell you, he would tell you that he was actually at my going away party that February. But he will tell you that I paid him no attention, that I didn't talk to him.
Here it goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I didn't.
So he was right.
He was right.
Yeah. Okay.
But the part of the story that he would leave out, because he didn't know at the time, was I saw him and I was interested, but I was also in a position in my life where I'm like, nope. I'm moving to Texas. I'm not even going to try,
You're like, I'm not going to sit over here and wait on somebody else. And so how did he get to Texas with you? Because he ended up moving to Texas, right?
He did.
Okay.
So I had came home for a visit one weekend.
Okay.
And I was actually on the phone with one of our mutual friends, JR, and they were in Walmart looking around for like something sweet to eat. And JR was like, hey, what are you and Mika, one of my best friends? She was like, what are y'all doing tonight? And I'm like, I don't know. And he was like, well, you should come hang out with us. So we did. And we get to the friend's house, the mutual friends that we're hanging out with. And, we're having a good time playing spades, stuff like that. And Mika and I look at each other and we're like, man, we want something sweet, we were starting to get hungry.
Yeah.
And Brandon, who's sitting over in the corner, is like, well, I have cheesecake out in the car.
In the car.
And there's like a story behind cheesecake. Like, this is where our thing was cheesecake. Yeah. And that's kind of where it started. Yeah. So he goes out to the car and he brings it back in. And first of all, like, I knew he was the one then, because what man rides around with cheesecake in his car? Like, absolutely.
Okay, was it plain cheesecake or was it flavored or whatever?
No, it was like one of those like different kinds. Like it had
a sampler.
Yes.
See, I'm like a plain cheesecake kind of girl. Like, I'm telling you, there is something about like New York style plain cheesecake that just, does it. I love it. I don't have it very often because we don't have like a really good cheesecake place around here.
No.
But when I travel, especially in New York, man, I've had some of the best cheesecake there. Well, I guess that would be why it's called New York cheesecake. Oh, there that went. Hey. Okay, so Brandon moves with you to Texas, and then you guys have an unplanned.
No, he was planned.
Oh, planned. Oh,
he was planned.
Oh, that's right. You did tell me you guys were trying.
He was planned.
So you guys fall in love and with Cheesecake Man.
You're
in love with Cheesecake Man. And you guys were trying to have a baby.
We were.
Yeah, you were trying to have a baby.
He was 29 at the time. I was 27. I had been told in my early 20s that children were probably not likely for me due to my PCOS.
Okay. Which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is something that's really common for women.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like one of those things like, hey, if it happens, it happens. But like I was tracking my ovulation. Like we were We were legit trying to have a kid.
Yeah. So you get pregnant.
We get pregnant.
And so what most people probably don't know is our sons were born on the same day.
Isn't that so weird?
It is crazy. Like when we met, I remember in your I think it was in your first interview. We were talking. We're like, "How old's your son? Wait, when's his birthday? Oh, wait, November. November what? November 2nd. Oh my gosh!" And they couldn't be more opposite.
No,
in so many different ways. But they were born the exact same day.
Yeah.
So yeah,
so weird.
Yeah. So how was Brandon whenever you found out you were pregnant?
He was over the moon.
Oh,
like I remember,
that's just the best.
I remember, like we knew that I was late. We had the weekend before we had been in Houston celebrating his birthday.
Okay,
and like I could just feel something was off. And so when we get back home, it was St. Patrick's Day.
Okay,
to be exact.
Yeah,
we get back home. We go to Walgreens. We get some tests because I'd used all the other ones at this point.
Yeah,
we get home and he's laying on the bed playing the PlayStation, playing the game.
Yeah,
I'm in the bathroom. And of course, I mean, you've been there.
You pee on the stick.
Yeah.
We're getting real in the trenches here.
Yeah.
Peeing on the stick.
You see the lines pop up and like, it was like, okay, this is it. This is what we've been trying for. And like, I open the door and I look at him and like, when I say his head falls, it didn't fall in disappointment. It was like,
we did it. Like,
we did.
God,
yeah. Like,
thank you. Like
I'm going to be a dad.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing else more in this world that he wanted to be than a dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, he was so happy.
Yeah.
We started calling family, you know, like we didn't tell a whole lot of people right at first just because,
you
but
never know.
He was so excited.
So you guys have a baby and you have like, it's dream come true. You're running an office in Texas, you have a baby. And then what happened?
Well, before all of that, like when I was still pregnant with Xander, we both like, if you've never had a kid, when you do, like you learn real quick that your perspective on life, well, for most people, it changes.
Yes, it does.
And you start wanting to figure out how you can, at least we did. We wanted to be able to provide Xander a life that the two of us only ever dreamed of, which entailed like, I wanted to go back and finish school.
Yeah.
So in, we have Xander in November of 2017. And then in October of 2018, I enroll back into college.
With a not quite 1-year-old.
Not quite one yet. Well, yeah. He was just about to turn 1. So I went back then to get my associates.
Yeah.
And then in January is when we lost him. We lost Brandon. He passed away unexpectedly from a pulmonary embolism. And
your whole world was turned upside down.
Was turned upside down.
So you've got a 1-year-old. You are in Houston running an office, new office for your company. Sorry, Fort Worth. Yeah, yep. Texas. For running a new office for your company. You're the man.
He's working for the same company.
Oh, he was.
He was.
And the man of your dreams has now.
Father of my child.
Literally died in your arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
And there you are.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, I've never lost a spouse. And you guys, for all principal purposes, were married. You guys hadn't had your wedding yet.
Yeah.
But grief is hard.
It is.
Loss is hard.
Yes. And especially when it's unexpected.
There is something so different. And I will say that from personal experience, not with someone that I lived in the same house with, which is a different type of loss. Now, I'm not trying to minimize that because that is different. But losing my mom unexpectedly, my brother-in-law unexpectedly, and then losing family members not unexpectedly that were either ill or there's something shifts in you. And you have some sort of preparation, but that unexpected shock leaves an amount of trauma, at least for me. Yeah. It's like nothing else.
Nope.
And what did you do then?
Well, I remember being at the hospital. He's gone at this point. Like they have stopped all life.
Like we can't save him.
Right.
Where's Xander at this point?
He is in the family room with my dear friend, Donna, who I worked with in Fort Worth. I went on the way to the hospital. Like I was calling people. I called his closest friends and I was like, I don't know how bad this is, but I'm telling you, I think you need to get here. Yeah. So they leave from Malvern
and they're head
to Fort Worth.
Yeah.
I called Donna, who's basically like another mom to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you just meet me at the hospital to come sit with Xander? Because I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Happen. Yeah.
So of course she drops what she's doing and she meets me over there. And immediately when I walked in the door, we had been there. I should preface by saying we had been in the ER the day before.
Yeah, I was fixing to ask you that. So he was actually feeling bad the day before.
He had been feeling bad for about a week.
And then they sent you guys home. And then the next day you stayed home from work.
I did.
because something wasn't right.
Yeah.
And when did you know you had to take him back to the ER? Did you call the medic, or how did that go down?
It was payday and we had bills to pay.
And back then, people went to the ATMs, right?
That's exactly what we were doing.
I guess still now, but now there's so much Venmo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Money back and forth and stuff.
We loaded up in the car and we went to run errands. We went to the ATM. I had been on his case about staying hydrated and making sure. And so we stopped at the gas station that was right beside our house. And he was like, will you please just let me go in and get some Gatorade if you're going to be making me drink all this fluid? Like, I'm tired of water. I was like, yes, you can go in and get a few Gatorade. So he gets back in the car and he's sweating. He can't catch his breath. Literally less than a block to get back to the apartment. And we're walking into the house and he's just like, I can't catch my breath. I can't catch my breath. And I'm like, okay, let's just, put your hands on your head. Just try to take deep breaths.
Make sure he's not panicking or something.
Well, at this point he was starting to panic.
Yeah.
And so the last things that he said to me was, I need you to help me. And at that point, 911. And
so you followed the ambulance to the hospital, or did you go? Because you had Xander with you.
So which I didn't know this at the time. I know I probably knew it, but I wasn't putting all the pieces together.
Yeah.
They sat outside the apartment for probably 5 minutes. It felt like an eternity. And then someone came back in and, they were like, we are doing everything that we can, but we're just letting you know that we have not got a rhythm back. We have not resuscitated him at this time. And so they leave, no sirens, so at this point, I'm not understanding and it's not registering with me what no sirens mean.
But now you realize he was gone before he got to the hospital?
No,
you think,
no, I think looking back, there was a moment where they were carrying him out of the bedroom. That's where he collapsed, where, I think in my mind, now I knew that he was gone then, because when it happened very fast.
Yeah.
When he was gone, he was gone. So we get to the hospital and I'm pushing Xander in the stroller. I had to grab Brandon's phone, his wallet. I got him a change of clothes because, I didn't know how long we were going to be there and things like that. So we make it to the hospital and I'm pushing Xander into the stroller into the hospital. And the gentleman working the front desk is the same gentleman that was working the front desk the previous day when we had went to the ER.
Yeah.
And I just kind of look at him and very casually and kind of lightheartedly, I say, we're back. And he gives me this look.
Then you're like, oh no.
And he says, ma'am, we're actually going to have you come sit in here.
Ooh, when you go to that family room, I've been there. We lost my brother-in-law in a work-related accident. He was electrocuted at work. And when I got to the hospital, I got chills all over my body, just telling the story. And the whole family, was in the family room. Yeah.
Yeah. So immediately they take me and Xander to the family room. And one of the head nurses and doctors come out and just start asking me questions about, what could have gone wrong? Did I notice anything else? And I literally say he was in y'all's care yesterday, and they were just very apologetic. Long story short, they did not do their jobs.
They missed something.
Yeah, they did. They did not do what they needed to have done because had they done it the day before, he would likely still be here.
Man.
So that was something very hard that I had to
forgive
myself for.
Yeah, which is not your load to carry.
No,
but that
it's
is
not.
So hard.
Yeah, because
Can't imagine.
I remember telling myself and telling Brandon as he's on the phone with one of his friends, I know I'm not a doctor, but I have to trust that they're doing their jobs. But I see you and I know that
something's not right.
Something's not right.
Yeah, yeah. So you guys decided, you and Xander, I guess you decided for Xander rather, he was so young at the time, that you wanted to move back to Arkansas.
I felt like I had no other choice.
Yeah.
At that
you were there by yourself.
I was there by myself. My family was back here in Benton. Our friends were back here in Benton and Malvern. His mom was in Texas, but not close enough where, if I needed help or needed something that, it was readily accessible.
So your company gave you 6 weeks or so? Or
I asked if I could take 4 weeks off.
Yeah.
To kind of get
yourself settled.
Yeah. And absolutely, they let me. They allowed me to move back here and kind of not necessarily step into the role that I was in previously, but, doing some of the things that I started out doing with them. And then the service manager at the time, or he's still the service manager for the Little Rock location, he saw something in me and knew that he needed to fight to get me in his department because he needed help with like tracking costs and being able to, make sure he was hitting his margins and everything. So they shortly after I moved back bought a location that was just a few doors down from where they're currently at. And I remember him walking out of his office and he was like, pack your stuff because you're coming with me.
Hey.
Yeah. And so I think one thing that is very important that I want to like mention is when you go through a loss like that, you don't just grieve the person. There's this thing that they call secondary grief and secondary loss, where, I mean, if you really look at it, look at what all I lost. I lost our home that we shared.
Yeah.
I lost the career that I was building for myself. And also, too, you lose all your future
plans.
moments.
You have to grieve the loss of what you thought what was.
Right.
I know when Crew was about 4 years old, when I realized for the first time that he'd never meet my mom. And it's so weird that it just took that long. And I was like, oh my God, he'll never meet her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just those things, like they're just hard, you know? And so the fact that you're sitting here today is a testament to the bravery and courage and just pure damn determination you had to make something of yourself, because you're still in school at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had just started back.
Yeah. You were still in school, like literally. So like you got in school in October, and January, Brandon dies.
Mm-hmm.
You guys moved back. So you're back here in the spring of 18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 18. And so you go back to work for this company, and then you see the opportunity that we post.
Yeah.
And you decide you want to take a chance on us.
I also felt like in the position that I was at for the company that I was working for, there weren't a lot of opportunities for me to grow. I wasn't challenged. Of course, like it was a good job and I enjoyed it, but I wasn't being challenged.
Yeah.
And so,
well, you're being challenged now, sister.
every day.
Oh my goodness. Every day. All right. So what is it? What's it like to work with me? What's it like?
On a daily basis or like just in general?
I don't know. I'm scared to ask that question. Like,
it's great. I can honestly say, there are days where our ass gets kicked.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to lie.
All of us.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I have never worked for someone, and this is going to get me teared up, that has inspired me, and not only inspires me, but like pushes me and wants me to reach those goals that I have for myself. Like if I told you I want to be the next president of the company, you would say, okay. What are we going to?
Let's do it.
Let's get
Figure
you
it out.
Right. And you just don't find that often with companies, especially in a male dominated world.
Yeah.
So to be able to work for a powerful woman like yourself, who
I feel like I should have had like a Hulk moment,
but who also cares so much about the people that she comes in contact with. It's a dream come true.
Oh, Dea. Thanks.
Cool.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to recruit myself out of a job one day. I'm okay with that, though.
That is what we're working towards.
Yeah,
right?
I guess so. Yeah,
okay.
I guess I'm okay with that. Then y'all have to listen to more podcasts for me, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll be in here with the camera every day. No, I love this though. So, all right. So now you're the executive assistant. You wear a lot of hats. How do you handle delegating? Not delegating. That wasn't the word I was going for. Okay, hold on. What is this? This is all I got. If you're listening on the podcast, I'm throwing my hands side to side like juggling. Yay! There it is. That was the word I was going for. So, in the previous episode that will come out before this has to do with from side gig to self-employed. And in a world where so many people have side gigs or wear multiple hats, like maybe they work for multiple companies, or like your case, you work for multiple companies that happen to all be under the same brand family. How do you juggle all of that?
Time management.
What does that look like for you?
So basically, like for me, Monday is the start of every week, obviously, but
yeah, some people's different.
But
yeah.
that's because you and I meet every Monday morning at 10 a.m. And once you and I wrap up our meeting, I kind of take what we discussed with my action items and I say, okay, this is how my week is going to go. And you and I have had this conversation. In the first year of me being with you, I didn't really set a whole lot of boundaries. Like I was just really trying to hit the ground running, figure out all that I could. so that I could be, so resourceful for so many people, because if I'm your executive assistant, that's what I need to be able to do. So this year it has been more so about me really setting those boundaries and really trying to be more of a leader for the rest of the team and kind of teach them and show them that, like, hey, you can do it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it can be very challenging, but I just have to really set those boundaries and be disciplined.
And learn what you're responsible for and what you're not responsible for.
That goes back to boundaries.
Yeah, right. All right. So let's talk a little bit about, I kind of skipped over the hiring process and how I hired you, which was very unique.
It's brutal.
It was
It's brutal.
Okay. So in my defense, it was a very busy time of my life and I didn't have time to screen a lot of applications. Like I didn't have time to sit down and do like video interviews with everybody or phone calls with everybody. And so I needed to take a big applicant pool. I'd have to go back and count now, but we had like around 31 applicants. Oh, we had 31 applicants that applied for the executive assistant position, which I think maybe the most applicants we've had apply for a single position rather than like a general coach position, or something like that. So I had to take that pool, get it down really small, and then be able to interview just the best of the best. And there were some good candidates. Like there's still some candidates off that list I want to hire.
Well, I remember one of the first things you said to me was that you had interviewed a couple of other ladies that you were like, they're going to work for you one day.
Yeah. Oh, I don't doubt it one bit. I still believe that. They're phenomenal women.
Yeah.
They really are. We just had a great chemistry. Like we really did. So before we ever met and ever had an interview, you had to do a project.
I did.
Yeah. Do you remember what it was?
I do.
What was it?
It was an itinerary for an up-and-coming conference that you were going to be going to with a group of your team.
Yeah,
you were
it was like an event briefing. Yeah. You had to put all the details, all the airport details, airline stuff, travel, weather, every single thing I was going to be doing there, what I needed to wear, recommendations of other things to do in the area. And I gave her very little instructions, or all of them, very little instructions. So that was like once you like applied, then we sent that to you along with some, you had to do some like personality testing and Enneagram stuff, things like that we do always that are standard in our interview process. But so then we got those projects back before we ever did the Zoom interview, right? If I'm remembering right. Yeah. So then we do the Zoom interviews and we narrow the interviews from there down to 3 in-person interviews and only conducted 2 of them. Yeah. So we conducted 2, you were the second one, and we knew after you it was it, and called the third one and was like, thank you, but we want to be respectful of your time and hope that we have a position for you in the future. And I still feel that way about that person, but we're going with this candidate instead. Yeah.
And thank God you did.
Yeah. Yeah. And you had never worked as an executive assistant before, right?
Never.
Yeah. But you were willing to learn.
Well, and a lot of the things that I was doing currently in my position with handling systems was I was helping. He was an executive. He was a supervisor of the department, but I was helping him like with a lot of admin stuff, like day-to-day operations and just making sure, that things got done and got taken care of. I was calling vendors. I was calling customers. I was invoicing. I was balancing books, things like that. So.
Right. What do you do? What do you do for me and for the companies right now? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to think through this one. Huh?
I do.
Yeah.
Well, I do some personal stuff for you, not just a whole lot, but you've mentioned before, I take the dogs to the vet.
Yeah.
I pick up prescriptions.
Amazon returns.
Amazon returns, all kinds of returns.
You handle all of my calendar.
Yep. I handle
every single thing on my calendar, which helps me have boundaries.
Right.
Because I can overbook myself really quickly. And then that manifests itself into stress and anxiety, which for people who've listened to previous episodes have learned about how I've gotten off anxiety medication at this season of my life. I may not stay there forever, but managing that calendar is critical to giving me a little breathing room, sometimes between meetings, sometimes in the afternoons or evenings or whatever weekends. So I don't overbook myself because I do love what I do so much. I feel like I could do it all day, every day, but I literally can't. My physical body can't keep up with like my inside energy and passion. And I know that it needs rest. And that's something I've had to learn that you've helped me with though, for sure. So what else do you do?
I also like to think that I am a preparer. Like I try to anticipate your needs.
Yeah.
I try to like look ahead and be like, hey, for example, today you caught this one and I didn't catch it.
Oh,
but
I did? I caught something?
You wanted me, you need a lunch.
Oh,
you had been in meetings from 9:30 until 1:00. And I should have caught that on Monday, but those kind of things, like I look for ways that I can make your job easier.
Yeah.
Because time is precious and we're only given 24 hours in a day, and you don't have all the time in the world to do the things that you need. So if there's anything that I could do to alleviate, that's.
And the fortune's in the follow-up, because you are queen of follow-up. Like, you execute so miraculously. Like, I give you something and then you will do all the phone calls, all the follow-up, make sure it happens, coordinate with contractors or vendors or any of those projects and all the things. And you never tell me that it's dumb that I'm starting something else. So that's even better.
No, I'm like, well, let's go.
I'm here for it. Let's do it. Let's do it. You're like, podcast, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've told the story of the podcast, though, is this has been a goal and like dream of mine for years. And I told you we need a production team, like, to do the editing and all that stuff, because I'm not talented in that and don't have the bandwidth to do it. And you booked a production team.
I did.
And so I had to start a podcast because I was paying a production team on a monthly retainer. And so that's when I was like, oh no, I really have to do this. And sometimes, like, that's what it takes for people, is like other people helping them, like, kind of kick them along the way. And I'll tell you, the only regret I have about hiring an executive assistant is that I didn't do it 2 years earlier. Because
I wouldn't have been here.
I
so
know,
there we go.
I know. Isn't that such a God thing? Because I feel like that I spent so much time hesitating hiring someone because I was so scared to hire the wrong person and offload all of this stuff that I needed help with and it not get done well.
Do you remember what you said to me, though?
I have no idea. There's no telling what she's going to say.
You told me after you hired me the first time, like December 13th, my hire date.
Yeah.
We were sitting at your kitchen table and you said, Dea, I knew you were the one from the minute I read your resume.
Yeah.
I was looking for reasons for it to not be you.
Yeah.
Because
I remember that now.
You were trying to search for, you were like, it can't be this, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that now. Like, I knew there was some sort of divine connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, our souls have, like, maybe known each other in a different life or something.
I would not. Yeah. I think
well, not
that's
really
possible.
our souls, our spirits, because our souls don't reincarnate. I got this whole reincarnation theory, I don't know if everybody online wants to hear about it, but I'll tell them anyway. So, biblically, our souls don't reincarnate. And so I believe that your souls get one go round, and there's a spiritual realm and then the earthly realm. And then, but I have this theory I'm chewing on that I don't really know. So maybe, like, other people have knowledge of this. They can, like, put it in the comments or shoot me an email. But is like, so you have your mind, like your body, physical body that's here, that's holding all your organs in there. And your brain is an organ that, like, sits, you could, like, sit it in a petri dish and nothing's in it. But then there's your mind, which some say is tied to your heart in scripture, which is not your soul.
Mm-hmm.
What if that reincarnates? I don't know.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so, all right, we're going to take a break from telling our stories.
Okay.
And do our trivia in the trenches segment.
Oh, Lord.
It's my favorite one. And this one is totally off the wall. And, like, there's, I don't know, you may guess the answer. But I feel like this is one that is going to be hard to guess unless you, like, okay. All right. Ready? Here we go. Da-da-da-da-da. All right. Right before we start Trivia in the Trenches, though, don't forget, if you don't subscribe on YouTube or follow us on your favorite podcast platform, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Google Play, that is the way that helps us get up in the algorithms. And our real mission here with the Grit Crusade podcast is to, get our story and these stories, like Dea's stories of grief and love and loss and life, out to more people, because the worst thing any of us can feel is alone. And the more we talk, the more we all talk. So be sure and share that on your platform. Share it with your family and friends. And that helps us to be able to have an impact on more people. So you ready now?
I'm ready.
Trivia in the trenches. Dun, dun. All right. Which of Santa's reindeer is named after a female fox?
Vixen.
How did you know that?
I was just going through the names.
I knew
on
you
Dasher, on Dancer, on
Prancer, on Vixen.
Yeah.
Yes, Vixen. Okay.
Woo-hoo!
Yes, look at you. Now you're the third person to get true. I'm going to have to up my trivia game here. I guess it's not like Stump or Us, so I mean, it's okay that you know. All right, so here,
I'll say that was a lucky guess.
Yeah,
it was just like Vixen sounds
like
the most foxy name.
Foxy, yeah. All right, according to SantaRules.com.
Okay.
Vixen's personality description, this is Vixen, is she is the entertainer. Ever had that one friend that's always picking up a new hobby to show off to their friends? Well, that's Vixen. One week she's trying to do magic, and another it's comedy, but she's always having fun learning something new. She thrives on being entertaining and often puts on a show, inviting all the North Pole, including Mr. and Mrs. Claus, to showcase her talents to. Vixen's traits: loves to be the center of attention, jack of all trades, fast learner, and loves to make people laugh.
Were you a reindeer in another life?
reincarnate into one of Santa's reindeer, I feel like that would be epic.
I feel like you would be Vixen.
Yes. Okay. I would be Vixen. We had this murder mystery party this year. Was that this year or last year?
Our North Pole was last year.
So our staff Christmas celebration, holiday celebration, we have it after Christmas every year. We've been doing murder mysteries the last couple of years from nightofmystery.com.
They're so fun.
Oh my God, they're so fun. And they do everything for you, lays it out. And everybody was like different reindeers. Who were you? Blitzen?
No, I was an elf and I was the murderer.
Oh, you were the murderer.
Remember,
that's right.
I killed Justin.
You did. You killed my husband.
I did.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, I know. I was like the postmaster. I can't remember my name. I was like the postmaster though. Yeah. I didn't have a big part to play that time, but it was fun. So, all right. What's something you're not very good at?
Well, apparently cleaning cars.
Cleaning cars.
Brooke was real quick to tell me about that one.
I told her, I was like, hey, I found something you're not good at. Cleaning cars. I sent her to vacuum out my car.
Brandon did it for me. That's what I told her. Well, Brandon used to do that for me. So.
That is hilarious. That is so funny. So I think you have something for me today, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. Dea has an idea. She had an idea. She was like, hey, I'll let you tell it. Go.
Yeah. So I think it would be really fun to do like a rapid fire question game with you.
Okay.
Because I feel like
I'm down.
People want to know. They want to know about you.
Okay.
All right.
We're about to find out. I'm kind of nervous here. Are they like one word answers? Or are they like,
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh my gosh. That like sassy look on your face just now, like made me scared. Okay. I'm putting my notes down and I'm ready.
All right.
Like,
you
me
ready?
and the mic right here. Here we go. Rapid fire question.
If you were a Disney character, which would you be?
Tinkerbell.
What is your Hogwarts house?
Hello, Ravenclaw.
Yeah. What animal would you be in another life?
A cheetah.
Cheetah?
What were you
I
gonna
really
say?
thought you were going to say tiger.
Oh.
I mean, they're in the same family, but
lion was my next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could have an unlimited supply of one thing, what would it be?
Macaroni and cheese.
You have to cook it the way that you always cook it. You guys, she
so
makes
good.
this
Epic.
amazing macaroni and cheese. It is so good.
Peppers and onions.
It is so good.
Oh, tomatoes, spinach.
Some days when I come over here, I don't eat purposely because she's like, are you hungry? Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
If your life was a story, what would it be titled?
Ooh. Oh, this is not very rapid fire. I'm trying to come up with something. My life was a story. What would it be titled? Oh my gosh. Tragedy.
I was going to say
triumph.
The Crown.
The Crown? Oh, I like The Crown. Yeah. I was going to say Tragedy Before Triumph. Because, I mean, I was kind of a tragic mess in my 20s.
Well, aren't we all, though?
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what your 20s are for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What one thing is just the cutest? Like, oh, it's just the cutest.
Oh, my gosh. My son's all into Pokemon.
There you go.
And there's this one little Pokemon called Squirtle, and he's so cute.
Squirtle?
That's so weird. Oh my God. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Because we play Guess the Pokemon, and then we have to give hints, and the other person's supposed to guess them. And mind you, he knows like 900
All
of the
them.
20,000 Pokemons, and I know like 3 or 4, and I'm like trying to learn.
I know Pikachu.
Yep. Yellow.
Okay.
He's tiny and yellow, and he'll go, I know Pikachu.
What one thing is the ugliest thing you've ever seen?
Oh, the ugliest thing I've ever seen. I feel like there was an animal I saw recently that was super ugly. I don't know. No, I'll tell you what. Platypuses are it. I was showing Crew the other day a picture of a platypus because he didn't know what that was because there's a platypus Pokemon. Here we go. Psyduct. In case we got any Pokemon nerds out there. And he was like, what's a real platypus look like? And I showed him and he was like, ugh. And they are nasty. And like, ugh. You know, a guy got arrested in Australia the other day. Random facts. I get wildlife messages on my Google News all the time because I got it real tuned in on
This
my
is why
AI
I
stuff.
love working with her.
And he was carrying a platypus like through the subway into the mall. And they're an endangered species, like or protected at least species in Australia.
So did he get arrested?
Yes, he got arrested and fined
Thank
and all
God.
that. I know, but they're really tiny. And my Beanie Baby, like Beanie Baby Pal, Beanie Buddy,
Okay.
was a big purple and gold platypus. And I thought platypuses were that size, but they're not. They're like little ones, like the Beanie Baby size.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you have a random fact nobody needed to know about.
Hey, this is
more.
how we get to know about you.
Okay, here we are.
We'll do a few more.
Didn't know we were interviewing me today. Maybe we'll do another episode where you interview me.
Okay, we can
That'd be
do
fun.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite holiday?
Halloween. Hello.
What's your favorite pizza topping?
Pineapples and jalapenos.
Pineapples go on pizza.
Pizza,
I
yes.
don't care who you are.
Yes,
They do.
They do.
Okay. What is your least favorite beverage?
Soda.
I was about to say, you don't
Soda.
drink sodas.
Wait, so I'm a recovering Diet Dr. Pepper addict. I haven't
did
had
not know
one in
that.
like 8 or 9 years. Yeah. And my mother-in-law left one here in the can in my really cold fridge in there. And I see it every time I open the door. And I'm like, oh. But I haven't had one in a really long time because, they're just not good for you. And the soda industry is super profitable. So if you're somebody still drinking soda, just know you're making millions for someone else. But I just don't really like soda. Yeah. And I don't like eggnog. But
I don't like eggnog either.
yeah. Or whiskey. I don't like whiskey either. First time I ever got drunk, I was 16 years old. Don't drink when you're kids, okay, kids? And maybe if you're watching this, probably not a good idea anyway. But it's adult show. So this is the one thing I do in my life that's for adults, I guess. So I went to a party with some seniors, and I had 5 shots of Jack Daniel's whiskey, and I had to be at work at 7 a.m. the next morning, and I didn't even know what the word like hangover. I never even knew what a hangover was at 16, and OMG.
You didn't make it to work that day.
No, I did. I was there, and I was and I worked for my dad.
That's why you were there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was.
I would have been there too.
Oh my God, y'all! I remember I was working at a car dealership, and one of the salesmen came by, and like they didn't even say anything to me, and sat like a thing of saltine crackers on the desk, and like somebody else came by and sat a Sprite down, like they knew. I like had to. It was terrible. It was the worst, and so now I can even smell whiskey. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm a whiskey girl.
Oh,
it's whiskey and wine for me.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, last one. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, toothpaste on the mirror.
Right.
Like they tap, 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 and then my husband's toothpaste goes on the mirror.
Right.
Like, why you got to do that? Wipe it off if that happens. Rude.
Yeah.
And when you're staying in a hotel room with like all the coaches that you travel with, and toothpaste is all over the mirror, I'm like, ugh. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
I don't have many pet peeves, but that one is just, I don't know why. It's not even like a germ thing, which probably is a germ thing, but it's just the fact the little dots on the mirror.
I know.
That's what
Wipe
gets
them
me.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what gets me. I know, right? Okay. All right, we're going to go back to you. We're done with my rapid fire question.
Okay.
Did I do good?
You did.
Did I like pass?
I feel like people probably found out some things that they may not have
Did
known
if I had an
about
unlimited
you.
supply of anything, most people would say money, and I said macaroni and cheese. Stock tips. Maybe that's what I should have said. Stock tips, investing advice. I don't know. Okay. All right. So what's your favorite book or podcast?
My favorite. Oh, I've started a new series with books right now.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Jess.
Jessa.
Jessa?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we have this member up at the space,
which is our co-working venue.
Right.
Yeah.
And she works for the author Jessa Hastings. And I finished book 1 in her series. It's a 4-book series. And I think that she's going to release a 5th book.
Yes.
But I'm on book 2. And if you aren't familiar with Jessa Hastings, look her up.
And we'll link her in the comments. Yeah.
But yeah.
And tell us what the Magnolia Parks.
Magnolia Parks is
book.
the first book. And
Yeah.
then the second book that I'm currently reading right now is called Daisy Hates.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait. That's exciting. I know. We have Amanda to thank for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Our friend Amanda. She hooked us up with that. And I've actually started Magnolia Parks because of that. So we're excited for them. I love seeing, now Jess is not from here. She's in California, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so we don't know her, but we feel like we know her because we know Amanda and Amanda works with her. And so it's just fun, like, even though it's somebody we know through somebody, to be able to support like real people that you know that are building their journey.
That's one thing I love about you, though.
Yes.
Like, you're so good about
I love supporting people.
Supporting other people,
Yes.
especially like small businesses.
Yeah, it's hard out there, man. It is. And if you can do anything to lift someone else up, it doesn't even matter. Like some of the best, like the people that I appreciated the most in the beginning years of our businesses was just sharing my post on Facebook.
Yeah.
They didn't cost them anything. They didn't have to leave their house. They didn't have to do anything, but just help and spread the word. Like you have no idea what that means to somebody, or somebody that just likes and comments on stuff, or just, it's so encouraging to know, because there are always haters out there. And I have learned in my years now.
But haters are really fans because they're still watching.
Ooh,
absolutely.
Man, put that on a shirt. Haters are really fans because they're still watching. Take that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call people online? What are they called? Not creepers. They're called trolls. Take that, trolls. Yeah, that was going to be cooler if I said it right the first time. Then I had to skip there. Okay. All right. So what is, and then I'm going to ask you, if you have questions for me, but I'm not there yet. I wanted to make sure I got this question to you. Sometimes I forget to ask people this. Oh,
Lord.
What is one piece of advice you would give someone wanting to follow in your path?
To keep going.
Yeah. I like that.
Keep going.
Keep going.
I mean, my mental toughness started at a very early age with my softball career. I had some great coaches along the way and my parents that planted the seed in my mind that if I wanted to, I could. but I had to do the work.
Yeah, it's on you.
So, yeah. I mean, and
it's your responsibility.
Absolutely. So
yeah,
for the people who want more, but they don't do anything about it, I mean, that's your problem.
That's what my previous guest from you on the podcast, if you guys haven't listened to the episode with Joshua Gonzalez yet, that he talked about whenever, I think you were here when we were filming, is he talked about, is like, we were talking more about mental health then. Like, are you truly struggling with mental health? Like,
or do you just have a shit life?
Yeah. Or your life just sucks. It's a shit life and you need to make improvements in your own life. And ultimately people will help you, but nobody else is going to do it for you.
Nope.
Yeah. That's great advice. That's great advice for all of us though. Cause we all have seasons where we need that kind of encouragement or we need that kind of toughness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but never doubt yourself and never give up because you can always reach your dreams, but you have to do the work.
Yeah. So, what's next for you? I know you're raising Zan. Do you want to share a little bit about your journey with Zan and parenting a child with special needs?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, closest friends and family are aware and know, but I am the mother of a child that is on the spectrum. We did get a diagnosis of autism back in October, and it wasn't like an earth-shattering thing. It was just kind of like, okay, now we know, and let's find these resources that are out here to make sure that he has a quality of life that is exceptional.
And I had someone say this to me, my hairdresser, her name's Kristen Adams, and she's like, something about hairdressers, man, it's like therapy, right? Like they literally can sit there and talk you through anything. But her son, Harrison, he's not on the spectrum, but Harrison, like every child, has different needs, right? And so we were talking and she said, the only thing I think parents can really screw up in this world, and I'm paraphrasing here, is not getting their children the resources they need. We don't know all the answers. We never will. But if we can just try to help point them in the right direction, get them in front of the right teachers or therapists or coaches, like we're giving them the tools. That's all we got to do. And I was like, you know what? You're right. You are right. Yeah. That's good. That's good stuff. So you have goals though.
I do.
What kind of goals you got next? What's coming up for you?
I mean, it kind of all depends on too what projects you start next.
Yeah, right. Like, I know. But you want to have a podcast one day.
I do.
Yeah. What's it going to be about?
Any and everything. Like so my ultimate dream is, and I don't think that I've shared like the ultimate dream with you though.
Tell it here first, baby.
I would like to have, and I know that we're coming into a world that this is going to more than likely happen, but like a live home-based radio show, talk show where like you just have tuners, like listeners tune in and stream music and have callers call in and ask questions. You have guests on your show and interview them. Like I would love to interview celebrities and athletes and things like that, and just like get to know them, ask them the basic questions. Yeah, because I feel like celebrities and athletes, I don't feel they're human. Yeah, and like they
put their pants on just like everybody else.
Absolutely. Yeah. So like I want to ask them, if you had an endless supply of something, what would it be?
Macaroni and cheese. I love it. So you want to start a podcast? Yeah. Yeah. You want to make a difference? Is there anything else you want me to ask you about?
I don't think so.
Yeah. You had some things you wanted to ask me. Do you remember what they are? I've got them. I wrote them down.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You said, who would be your dream podcast guest?
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, no limits. We're talking big, like,
I think Ellen.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm not like a hardcore Ellen follower.
Okay, we're putting that out there. You hear that?
I am putting that out there, right?
Okay.
I'm not a hardcore Ellen follower in that I've watched her show a lot, but I feel like she shattered a lot of glass.
I agree.
And I feel like Ellen was one of the first females on TV that was not afraid to like make light or make fun of her own self, like in a very like down to earth. People feel like they know her.
Isn't that what life is though?
Yeah.
Like you have to be able to enjoy everything.
And she's a big give back person. And I know that there's controversy around every celebrity, and there's, but so I don't know her personally, but if it wasn't Ellen, I think it would probably be I had a crush on Corliss Williamson.
Okay.
Yeah. He played basketball for the Razorbacks when the Arkansas Razorbacks won the NCAA championship in the 90s.
I mean, that's probably more possible than Ellen is. So.
And here's the funniest story. So I was in my cheerleading. So back when I tried out to be a cheerleader for Arkansas Razorbacks, you had to do an interview on one day. Okay. And it was usually veteran cheerleaders or people that were in the Razorback family, you know, or alumni, whatever. And then the next day was the skills tryout. And so in the interview, one of the women said to me, she said, I have a question for you. Who is your favorite Razorback athlete? And I said, Corliss Williamson. I had a huge crush on him. Told the whole story, you know, about the parade.
You told the whole story right there in front of everybody.
In an interview. And then like the parade came to Little Rock after they won the championship. And I stuck my hand out and he touched it. And I was like, oh my gosh, he touched my hand. And it was his wife.
Yes.
She was the one asking me the question, but I didn't know. I didn't know who it was. And I mean, as soon as I said his name, they died laughing.
So what was her response to this?
Yeah, she was like, I think he's hot too.
I think he's hot too.
He's hot too. Yeah. So that was fun. So I think he would be fun. I haven't really thought about that question a lot, but Ellen, Corliss Williamson, totally different kind of people. I love stories of people who've gone through challenges.
Yeah.
You know, that's my favorite kind of guest to interview. And I think if we're being real, that's everybody. But not everybody's in a place yet where they're ready to tell that story. But when they are, those are the people that I want to come on the show. And for people that are listening, if you want to come on the show, send me an email, chat@brookeplack.com. And we have a production schedule, but we add people to that as they fit into the storyline. So even if it's not right now, we want to get you in the rotation and talk to you about what that might look like. And sometimes I've had people reach out to me and they weren't a perfect fit for this podcast, but I've got podcasts for friends. And so I've made some friends in the industry and they're looking for guests too. And so even though you may not be a fit here, we may be able to get you in somewhere because we love hearing the stories that people have done. All right. You also said, what is your morning routine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know this answer or are you just asking just because you want everybody else to know?
I don't know the answer.
Yeah. Okay. So I get up about 5 or 6 every day. And if it's on Wednesday mornings, I have breakfast. I have an executive association that used to be me and a whole bunch of older men. And they were like the OGs, old hats. And now the group has grown so much. So other than Wednesdays though, so I get up earlier than everyone else in my house, earlier than my husband, earlier than my son. And I like to get up, drink my celery juice, and then I go work out. I drink lemon water, then celery juice. And then I go work out and I come back home and in a perfect day, I would get back home before they're up still. And I could go ahead and shower and get dressed and all that. But sometimes they're already up and about. And Justin helps with the morning routine with Crew, making his lunch and getting him to school. And then I handle afternoons. But from there, I do all of my housework and stuff first. So I get like, if I've got dishes in the sink or I get prepped for the day, get the beds made, all that kind of stuff. And then I usually sit down at my desk at the house between 9 and 10 o'clock. And I don't take any meetings earlier than that either. And I keep meetings squished together on a couple of days versus having meetings spread out all throughout the week, which you know that part. So yeah. Yeah. Is that what you want me, or you mean like tell you my skincare? Like, what did you want me to do? Is that good?
Yeah,
that was good. That was good.
That was good.
All right. And then your last question, this was hard. You said, if you have 24 hours to yourself, tell me your perfect day.
That's why I asked it.
Yeah. So I planned it out and then I realized it wasn't by myself.
There you go.
So I recently went to Costa Rica, and that was pretty close to a perfect day, you know. But if it was here, say if I was at home, I get up early, do my morning routine and all that kind of stuff, and get the boys out of the house because I like them off doing their own thing. But I love to see them in the mornings. Like this morning, I didn't get to see them before they left. I wasn't back from a meeting because I have that 7 a.m. meeting on Wednesdays, and so that kind of puts a bummer on my day. Like I like to hug Crew, you know, kiss Justin goodbye, tell them I hope they have a great day. So I like to do that first, and then I would spend about 3 or 4 hours working on something that I'm really passionate about, whether it's a nonprofit project, whether it's volunteer work, whether I love to work on things that I'm passionate about, you know, and then having dinner by the water.
Nice.
So that's my favorite dinner spot, somewhere by the water.
What would you have?
Oh, probably if I'm by the water, then I'm probably going to have fish or seafood.
Are you going to catch it and cook it yourself?
No, I mean, I would, but I wouldn't like necessarily have to.
Okay.
Yeah. And a glass of white wine, some fish by the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sunglasses on, feet up in another chair. Or
in
on
a
bench.
hammock.
Yeah, in a hammock. Somebody serving me in a hammock. I could do that. Yeah. Yeah. That's like, but I just love the work that I do. Like I have built a life alongside my husband and my team that I'm so proud of. And it wasn't a life I always had. And it has nothing to do with financial success and has everything to do with loving the work that we're doing and the difference we're making in the projects that we're working on.
Well, I mean, you did not get into this business to make money.
No, I didn't.
No.
And we have had financial success. So I cannot say that I haven't, you know. We spend our money very strategically. I'm very chintzy about lots of things. I don't buy snacks at gas stations. We have some weird quirks like that. But we like to travel. And so that's usually where we spend our extra money, and then buying garden beds that I can't seem to figure out how to put together because that's where I'm at right now in life. But okay, are you ready for the last question? You ready for us to wrap it up? Yeah.
Sure.
It's been fun.
It has been fun.
Have you had fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been a great guest.
Thank you.
All right. What is one thing you've always wanted to do but haven't yet?
Go to Fenway. I want to go to Fenway.
What is Fenway?
Oh my God.
Oh God. Did I just
you just disappointed me on so many levels.
Should we try it again? And I should go, oh, me too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's run that back. Let's run that back.
What's one thing you've always wanted to do? What's the question? What's one thing you've always wanted to do but haven't yet?
Go to Fenway.
Me too. Was that better?
That was much better.
For listeners.
For those of you who don't know what Fenway is.
Not me, everyone else. But for everyone else listening,
you really don't know.
No, I have no idea. Is it a racetrack? Is it a ballpark?
Yes.
Okay, it's a baseball park. Red Sox.
Yes.
Oh, I was just guessing because I knew you liked Red Sox. I got there close though. That was good. So you want to go to a Red Sox game at Fenway?
Yes.
Let's go. Oh, we can make that. We can totally make this happen.
I know we can.
When's your birthday?
February.
Oh,
yeah.
Is baseball in February? No.
Oh
man. Can't have a birthday present. Half birthday present?
But it is on my we don't call it bucket list. What do we call it?
Life plan.
Life plan. I want to go to every baseball stadium.
Oh, that's a great goal.
Yeah. And I've been to a couple. I've been to watch the Braves game. I've been to St. Louis.
I'm going to hurt your heart for a second. I've never been to a professional sports game.
Well, I've never watched Harry Potter, so there we go.
Man, we're going to have to I'll take you to Harry Potter World and you take me to Fenway.
We can do that.
That'd be fun. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
I love that. That's so fun. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
It has been great. It has been great. If somebody watching this or listening on the podcast and they are in the middle of a season of grief, which can come back, it's cyclical, what advice do you have for them?
Well, this may not appeal to everyone, but I will just say that lean on God.
Yeah.
And even if, because I've been there, you're mad at him specifically.
Yeah.
But I said a prayer and said, I know you know my heart, and I know that I'm mad at you right now, but you're going to have to give me time. And I just had to keep the faith that he was going to get me through it. Yeah. And so I would just
thank you for that. That's good. That is really good, because grief is something that it is not good to go through alone, but you have to go through it alone in your own self in that way. You have to work through it in yourself, even though you can have others people to lean on. So yeah, it's been great. Great episode today. Thank you so much. You're an amazing guest. And I'll say until next time, until we have Dea back. Yeah. Until next time.
You've been listening to the Grit Crusade podcast with Brooke Platt. Our theme song is Thunder City by Lunar Ray, licensed through Soundstripe. This podcast was produced by Luminate Media Group. Thank you for listening, and we will see you on the next episode.